Imagine spending more on a 3-day hotel stay than most people earn in 20 years. No, this isn't a penthouse. It isn't a suite. It's an entirely different category of existence that most of the world doesn't even know is available for purchase. We're talking about a private floor, a personal army of staff, a fleet of the most expensive cars on Earth idling at your door around the clock, and a seat at the Super Bowl so close to the field you can hear the quarterbacks breathing. This is Las Vegas during Super Bowl weekend. And somewhere tucked inside one of the most iconic hotels on the Strip, a package exists that costs $1 million for 3 days. Not a week, 3 days. The question isn't whether it's worth it. For the people who book it, that question never comes up. The suite. The moment you step out of the private elevator, because of course there's a private elevator, you understand that the word suite no longer applies here. This is a residence. A temporary residence, yes, but a residence nonetheless. The space stretches across multiple floors, well over 5,000 square feet of Las Vegas real estate floating above the Strip. Floor-to-ceiling glass wraps around the entire unit, and from up here the city below looks like a circuit board lit up at midnight. The Bellagio fountains perform on cue. The mountains frame the horizon in every direction. Inside, the design language is closer to a private museum than a hotel room. Custom Italian marble on every surface. Furniture that was selected, not assigned. Lighting systems that adjust to your mood before you've consciously decided what your mood is. A grand piano sits in the living room, not because anyone will necessarily play it, but because in this tier of hospitality, a grand piano is simply assumed. There are multiple bedrooms, each styled like the finest room in a 5-star hotel. The butler. Every luxury hotel on Earth offers butler service. What they mean by that, and what this package means by that, are two completely different things. Your butler doesn't clock in at 8 and finish at 6. Your butler exists for the duration of your stay in a permanent state of readiness. 24 hours, 3 days, no shift change that inconveniences you. No moment where the wrong person picks up the phone. This is the individual who learns your preferences before you arrive. Your preferred breakfast temperature, your coffee order, the specific brand of sparkling water you drink at night, the pillow firmness, the room temperature when you wake up versus when you sleep. Before you've landed in Las Vegas, your butler has already coordinated with the kitchen, the garage, the concierge, and the front desk. By the time you walk through the door, the suite already feels lived in by someone with exactly your taste. During your stay, nothing is requested twice. You mention it once, it becomes the standard. You don't mention it at all, and your butler anticipated it anyway. If you've ever wondered what separates a 5-star hotel from the very top of the hospitality pyramid, this is it. Stay with us. The private chef. Room service is a concept that doesn't exist at this level. Not because it isn't available, but because it's been entirely replaced by something else. Your private chef arrives the morning of your first day, not to cook breakfast, to meet you, to understand what you want, what you don't want, what mood you might be in that evening, what dietary boundaries exist, and what culinary experiences you're hoping to have before you leave. From that conversation, a personalized menu is built, not chosen from a list, built from scratch, around you, Wagyu sourced that morning. Seafood flown in from the appropriate coast. A dessert constructed to reference something your chef overheard you mention in passing. The kitchen inside the suite operates with the same seriousness as a Michelin-starred restaurant, except the reservation list has exactly one party on it, and it's yours. The moment you want to eat, the kitchen begins. In a hotel, on a private floor, in Las Vegas. This is the kind of detail that separates a $1 million package from everything below it. The fleet. The garage situation at this level requires its own conversation. A custom fleet of Rolls-Royces has been arranged and dedicated entirely to your party. Not shared, not on rotation. Yours for the entire weekend. Cullinan SUVs for casual movement through the city. Ghost sedans for when the occasion calls for something more formal. Each vehicle comes with its own driver. Not a driver who also handles other guests, other routes, other priorities. Your driver. Waiting. Always positioned exactly where you need them to be. You leave the hotel at your discretion. The car is already downstairs. The route has already been mapped. If a reservation needs to be held, it's held. The Super Bowl experience. This is what the entire package builds toward. And this is where the gap between an expensive Super Bowl ticket and $1 million Super Bowl experience becomes impossible to ignore. VIP field level access means exactly what it sounds like. Not club level, not a luxury box tucked behind glass where the noise of the crowd is muffled and the game feels distant. Field level, close enough that the turf is right there. Close enough that you're inside the event rather than watching it from a distance. The route to your seat doesn't involve the public entrance, the general concourse, the regular lines. A private tunnel, a private escort, an arrival that bypasses everything the other 90,000 people in the stadium are navigating. Your seats are positioned in the section closest to the action on the field. The halftime show doesn't just happen on a stage in the distance. It happens in front of you. And when the final whistle blows, the fleet is already positioned. The chef is already back at the suite. The butler has already prepared what comes next. The game was never just a game. It was the centerpiece of a 3-day production built entirely around you. The price, $1 million for 72 hours. Broken down, that's roughly $14,000 per hour. And the people who book this package, the hedge fund managers, the tech founders, the heirs to generational fortunes, don't break it down that way. That's the point. At this tier of wealth, the value of an experience isn't calculated in cost per hour. It's measured by how thoroughly it removes every friction point from existence. The answer to every logistical question before you've asked it. The best seat not because you were lucky, but because the entire structure of the weekend was engineered around putting you there. The Rolls is never late. The chef is never unavailable. The butler never says he'll check on that and get back to you. Everything works. Everything is extraordinary. And for 72 hours in Las Vegas during the biggest sporting event in America, you don't exist in the same city as everyone else. You exist in a parallel version of it, one built specifically for the few people willing to pay for it. The Super Bowl draws over 100 million viewers around the world. The stadium fills with nearly 100,000 fans. But somewhere inside one Las Vegas hotel, a small group of people experienced a completely different event. Same game, same field, same halftime show, entirely different world. This is how the elite experience sports, not as spectators, as guests, in a city that was quietly rearranged to accommodate them. And the $1 million price tag? For the people who book this package, that's not the expense. That's the point.